Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Woolly Thistle Shopcast. I'm your host Corinne. I own and operate the Woolly Thistle alongside my wonderful friend and co-host Maggie, who is our product development manager. And together we basically run 100 miles an hour all the time.
With a great team.
That's right, with a wonderful team. None of this is possible without the team that's here, as well as you, dear customers and viewers. So thank you for showing up, and thank you for watching the Shopcast. Tell your friends. But the Woolly Thistle is an online yarn shop specializing in woolly wool yarns, especially non-superwash. And but now we have a brick and mortar too. So when you come to visit us in New Hampshire, you can check out for yourself. You can squish and sniff all the wonderful yarns we have here at the Woolly Thistle. So yeah, we've got a great episode for you. We've got lots to get through. So let's get started, shall we?
Yes.
All right.
I will say before we get too far, not only is it the beginning of fall, with the beginning of fall comes a new intro to the Shopcast.
Oh, yes.
So,
Tina's been busy with that. Yes.
Yeah, so you'll have just seen that.
Yeah, hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
We have a lot in the show today.
We do.
We have a segment from Emma. Hooray. We have a segment from Peggy and Amanda of Junction Fibre Mill, because they are hosting their Millapalooza this weekend. Actually, is it this weekend that this goes out?
It's next weekend.
All right, so a week from today.
The weekend of Vermont Sheep and Wool, which is October 4th.
Yes, I'm already confused where we are in date and time. So that's great. Nice quick segment from them. And we have Kim with her morning yoga, which is really nice to wake up the whole body nice and gently. And we may or may not have something from Kelsey.
We do, yeah.
We do? All right, I missed that. But
yeah, no.
Yay, Kelsey.
Yeah, it's a great segment. She's talking about slow knitting. And sharing some of her...
And maybe you can talk about some slow knitting yourself.
There's some team slow knitting representation happening here.
So Maggie, why don't we just segue right into that? What are you wearing today?
I am wearing... Here, you want to hold my script? I am wearing my finished Cruden Vest.
Ta-da!
So,
it's so
it
great.
Fits.
It does fit.
First time out, it fits.
Thank God.
Yeah, absolutely. So I started this whenever our vest cowl started, which I think was back in May. So we are now halfway through our sweater cowl.
Was it really?
And it's May or June. It was for, I think it was like the very end of May. But,
okay. Golly.
Finished it this weekend.
It's fantastic.
Did the ribbing.
Yeah, looks beautiful. What a great job.
Thank you. This definitely felt like a labor of love.
And it was, yes. Yeah. But aren't you glad?
Yes, I'm so glad. For those of you who were watching last week, 2 weeks ago, I was at the point of where I was figuring out what to do here up at the top. I love, the pattern is by Ysolda Teague.
Those are her colors.
These are her colors. I didn't change
Jamison
anything with the colors. Absolutely love this pattern. I would do things here differently. I'll put notes on my project.
Will you ever knit this again next time? I say next time.
I would in a few years.
Well, you have a sweater to cast on now. Are you
I do have a sweater to cast on. I want to knit the Nos sweater, which is from the My Fair Isle Journey book. Yeah. I will cast it on. I was looking at it on Saturday. So I finished this yesterday, which was Sunday for me. And my hands were toast.
Yeah.
So this was knit on, the Fair Isle was knit on a size 3 for me to get gauge, and the ribbing on a size 2. The gauge is a little different from the Nos. This one you have 30 stitches over 4 inches, and Nos actually has you getting 32 stitches.
Even smaller.
Over 4 inches, and I cannot bear to go down to a size 2 for all the Fair Isles. So I've got to do some math.
Yeah.
And mostly my hands, like I just don't know that my hands could take the Fair Isle knitting and a size 2. So I'm going to do a little math to see, because those 2 stitches, like when we had our swatch party talking about, does it matter if I have 2 less stitches or 2 more stitches? And it does. You'll end up with a different size sweater.
Over the whole circumference, it will end
over the whole circumference. So I want to make sure that I'm okay with whatever size I'm going to get.
Yeah.
The sweater does call for like 7.5 inches of positive ease. So I'm okay if it's like 5 inches of positive ease. Yeah. But I wanna math it out and see what I'm gonna be getting.
But you're still knitting that's still a lot
and
of
cast on
stitches.
is like 300 some odd stitches. So that was not an impulsive number of stitches that I felt comfortable just casting on.
You know, I think the first easiest thing to do when you're worried about or when you're trying to change the size of something is to look at the different sizes and see what your gauge would finish as, and maybe that will do.
I figured that's what I would do, is kind of do the math of if I knitted at this gauge with the stitches for the smallest size and the largest size, sort of, or the the different sizes. What do I get a size that I want, that I would be happy with? Right. So I'll do that math first before I try to adjust anything.
Because that's then you get heavy duty once you start doing math.
Although, that's when I boxer Kelsey. If we get to heavy duty math, I will bother Kelsey.
Sounds good. Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, so I think it'll work out. 32 is close enough to 30. I just can't. I'm just going to have to do some math.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going down a needle.
Yeah, but you're right. 2 stitches every 4 inches all the way around is going to give you more ease than you anticipated. So, well, good. Well done you on this. It's absolutely beautiful. It is a moment to see.
Yeah, I'm really pleased to have it done. It's quite cozy.
Do you want to talk about how the pattern has you do the shoulders? For anybody out there who's knitting it, this might be helpful.
Many people on Ravelry have successfully knit this and didn't seem to indicate they'd had any confusion with the top of this.
Yeah.
The way that I read the pattern, for the top, like this is all done with steeks, and then for just like the top, like 2 inches. Like an inch on the front and an inch on the back. She has you like sort of add another steek section. At least that's how I interpret it. And interpreted it and read it. Yeah. And and then she has you Kitchener the top, which I hated. I did it. It's a little funky. So if anybody wants to see,
it looks really good.
Well, there's some issues there. But it's fine. I got through it. I did it just like it said. I probably would have just knit 2 more rows in the main color and then 3 needle bind off next time. Yeah.
Would you steek up here the next time as well?
I don't know. Like you kind of need it for the vertical height of how it fits. Yeah. So I think it is necessary, but I don't know if there's a cleaner way to do it. Yeah. I like the finished results. And once I was clear as to what I was doing, the knitting wasn't so bad. No. Yeah. I would also probably, like, I think it's a 5-stitch steek repeat. I might actually do 7.
Make your bridge 7 stitches. Yeah.
I just find when it came to the cutting, and then at some points, especially up here, your steek narrowed a bit. And I found I would have liked a little more surface area to give me a little more comfort. Yeah. So you can always add steek.
So the further
stitches
up you went, the scarier it got. But really, no, because you've done a fantastic job. And I think once we figured out the pattern meant that you were knitting in the round with a steek for this little bit up here, you were good to go.
Yeah, and the fit is great. Like I just knit it to pattern. I didn't make any adjustments, and it fits
wonderfully.
Like, I love how it fits. It's very cozy.
I love the colors. Fantastic.
I will say I'm glad I was familiar with sort of the process, so that as things looked weirder and weirder in my knitting,
meaning you had steeks closed.
Right, you had steeks closed, and it looked like you're knitting like a weird little
closed thing.
I still trusted the process. I felt confident in where I was going. The pattern does give you stitch counts for everything, so that as long as your stitch counts and gauge are good, you can feel confident that you will end up with a garment that fits.
Well done you. It's lovely.
Thank you.
Let me talk about what I'm wearing. If we may. Yes, I got a lovely package in the mail from Renee. Renee, thank you so much for this. It's gorgeous. This is the Destination Unknown bandana? Cowl. And Renee knitted it and sent it to me, which is lovely. And it's knitted, the purple is Tukuwool, and the color is actually making tracks. Mm-hmm. And so in the Thistle colorway. So this is a very woolly Thistle, lovely finished object.
Very lovely.
And for the first day of fall, or first Monday of fall, I'm so happy to have it. Thank you so much. I've been wearing it a lot. since it came in the mail. Renee, thank you so much.
Yeah, and Renee works with us here at the Woolly Thistle.
Yeah.
She lives out in Ohio and does our email.
Yep.
And if you watched our last episode, you saw a segment with Renee talking about her Grand Shetland Adventure knits.
Yes, that's
projects.
right. That's right. And Renee came out and visited us in the summertime. And Renee is coming to Rhinebeck. So is Caitlin. Yeah, we're going to have a good posse at Rhinebeck. So I can't wait to see everybody then.
And Renee is currently, as this airs, in Shetland.
Yes, she's at Shetland Wool Week.
Yeah.
Mwah. So jelly. Yeah. Good for her. I hope she's having a fabulous time. I hope anybody who's there is having a fabulous time. And we miss you and hope that you have a great time.
I'm only irritated she didn't invite me along.
I know. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Renee. Just kidding. I hope she has a great time. I can't wait to see photos.
For sure, for sure. Okay, so that's what we're wearing. Are you working on anything?
I have only been working on this for like probably the last week and a half. Occasionally I've been picking up my sock and knitting on it. I have turned the heel and I'm onto the foot. Yeah. So I am behind on my August socks. Yeah. I don't care. Because I finished this, so the socks will get finished when the socks get finished.
Yeah, I think I was counting up my socks, and I think I'm on pair 6 or 7, and it's now September. So I am behind, but I'm not too fussed about it. All knitting is good knitting.
I have kept up until this month.
I am knitting a sweater, though, for the sweater cowl.
Yeah, let's see.
Actually, why don't we announce the winner first, and then I'll show you my sweater.
Okay. Our first winner of a $25 gift card to the Woolly Thistle is at Jacqueline Wilson 4232.
Jackie!
And Jacqueline says, wow, cannot wait to see how Maggie's vest turns out. Such a fun process, and Corinne's cardigan progress is impressive. Love the color choices. I also really enjoyed hearing from Renee. Happy times in Shetland, Renee.
I just want to say that
Jacqueline
has been around the Woolly Thistle since New Hampshire Knits days. So it's great to see your name pop up, and I'm so glad you won a prize. That's awesome.
Well, Jacqueline, if you can email us at info@thewoollythistle.com. Put prize winner in all caps and we will get you your $25 gift card.
Yes, and thank you for playing along. And if you'd like to be in the running for a $25 gift card to the Woolly Thistle, all you need to do is on this episode, leave us a comment below, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, and you will be in the running for that prize. So shall we look at what I'm knitting?
Yes.
So I'm knitting on my sweater. It's the Agnes sweater by Kristin Wiola. And I've been knitting up a storm.
You have been knitting up a storm.
We have 2 sleeves.
Look at that.
I know.
That is so pretty.
And I've just, yes, it's so gorgeous. Oh my God. And knitting with a Finull yarn. Oh my gosh, Maggie.
That really is your happy place.
This is my very, very happy place. So I've got 2 sleeves all finished, and I just picked up the body. That's how she writes the pattern, so I'm happily complying with what she wants.
Well, you'll be zipping down this in no time.
This is so potato chippy knitting. I know the pattern now. I don't even have to look, and round and round we go. Short repeats, so no catching floats to slow me down. She's got a lovely detail in the the fake seam of the sleeve, and basically you're just always purling that last stitch in the main color, and so you kind of get it's fake, it's not a real seam, but it looks nice, and it fits. So far it fits. I'm a little concerned that the left sleeve, you can probably see that it sort of increases there from here. See how there's a little bit of a undulation there? I'm hoping that blocks out. I'm not sure why that happened. But so far it's fitting, and I can't wait to wear it. I'm going to wear it at Rhinebeck and probably a ton before that. And I just love it.
It feels great.
Doesn't it? Mm-hmm. This is soft. It's woolly wool. You know, it's Rauma Finull yarn, which is definitely my happy place. This is what I designed the vanilla sweater in, and many other things, and I haven't knit with it for a while, and it's like my fingers are going, thank you, thank you, thank you. You've come home.
So beautiful.
It's going to be really fun to wear this, I think, because hopefully I wear it, it doesn't wear me.
No, I think you're going to be wearing the heck out of that.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think it's going to fit nicely. So that's what I've been knitting on. And, it's all being kept here in my Harris Tweed bag, which I love. I've got my colors here. I showed you this last time. Keeping all my colors there. And yeah, I love my bag. And we have been selling bags, so that's good because we got a restock.
So we have them back here if we want to show them.
We should probably go to a segment, don't you think?
Yes.
Who should we go to? I've got Kelsey here.
Sure.
Let's go to Kelsey and see what she's talking about. I actually have not seen her segment, Maggie. Have you?
I have. It's fantastic. I love that she's making slow and steady progress on her sweater.
Yeah.
And advocating for Team Slow Knit.
All right. So we'll see you on the other side.
Hi, it's Kelsey. I'm coming in to talk to you a little bit about my current knitting projects, what I've been thinking about related to knitting, and just connect with you all. So the very first thing is I am hoping this is the last hot day of the fall. It's mid-September in Vermont. It is, this is where everybody who lives south of me is going to laugh, but it's 76. It was a high of 76 today. And look at this, I'm sweating, wearing a t-shirt, I'm red. I wasn't built for this. And I'm done, I'm over it. I don't need this, I don't want to do this. So hopefully fall's right around the corner, and we have a week or so of 60-degree high temperatures starting tomorrow or Sunday, so that'll be really great. Well, by the time you've seen this, then that cooler weather will have hopefully started for us. So wish me luck. Especially with all the yarn festivals and everything that's starting to happen around here. The Adirondack Yarn Festival, Vermont Sheep and Wool, New York Sheep and Wool. Like, there's all sorts of things going on. Common Roots in Maine. There's all sorts of things happening in the fall around here related to fiber arts, local artisans, local agriculture. And it would be great for me personally if it was just a little bit cooler. The first thing I wanted to show you is, if you have been watching this podcast, you will know what this is. This is the Skyline tee by Tori. I've probably shown this at least three podcasts in a row. One time to talk about how slow knitting is fine, taking a long time for projects is fine, taking breaks from projects and doing something else is fine. Your knitting is your knitting, and I know it's hard sometimes with social media that you can get wrapped up in everything, but I talked about that in a previous episode. The Skyline tee is a saddle shoulder construction that now you can see has sleeves, little short sleeves, where the ribbing detail continues from the saddle part at the top of the shoulder onto the semi-drop sleeve. It's not a true drop sleeve where you have 8 or 10 inches or even more of positive ease, but it's not a set-in sleeve. It's not, so it's definitely a rectangular tube. See how it's a straight line. If it was set in, you'd have a bit more of a curve coming like that. Anyway, I am knitting it in WoolDreamers Saona, which is a 50-50 wool cotton blend from Spain. It's not, I don't think it's completely woolen spun. It may be semi-woolen or semi-worsted spun. But the cotton gives it a nice loft, and it's got a nice sort of cottony feel, but you definitely still know there's some wool in it. This color is called Fratelli, if you can read that. It's a very light bluish gray. It's got a little bit of a blue tinge. And I think I've used 5 balls. I think I'm in my 6th ball of this. But I wear a pretty large size. I'm over 6 feet tall, and generally I'm in the, if a pattern has 8 or 9 sizes, I'm in the 5 or 6 range. Varies from pattern to pattern, designer to designer, but you can get a lot of yarn out of little balls. Particularly because it is fingering weight. This is being knit at 25 stitches, so it's pretty thin. It's got kind of a sweatshirt vibe with the heathered gray color, a little casual, which I really enjoy. And I like the neckline is it's a pretty high crew neck, but has shape to it. It's definitely lower, as you can see, lower in the front than in the back. That's something I like definitely about saddle shoulder constructions. Yeah, so I've been knitting that, and as you can see, I've done the 2 sleeves, and I've just been knitting. Let's see if I can even get there. Knitting and knitting and knitting to the end. There's where I am. I not only am fairly tall, I have a longer torso proportionately, which makes my sweaters take a long time and cost more money. So sometimes it's nice for me to use a fingering weight yarn, which is, you get a lot more sweater for the yardage that you're using, because if you think about it, yarn is 3-dimensional. So if your yarn is this big, you're getting a lot more yardage than if your yarn is this big, and for the same weight. So this sweater is going to be a lot lighter weight than, say, if I'd knit it in worsted weight. In worsted weight, a sweater for me can be 700 grams, 600 to 700 grams, depending. And this will end up being, I think I'm in my 6th ball. So it's probably going to be it'll be 330 grams or 350 grams at the most, probably. So it is a lot lighter weight. And as you know, yarn is sort of priced by weight. So if you knit thinner, you get more. Takes longer. So if you factor in your labor, then it takes a lot longer. But also, as you can tell, I am a warm person. So sometimes it's nice to spend more time, have a nice garment, and also wear it more of the year when it's a thinner weight. The second thing I wanted to talk about is this hat. This hat. It's not actually knit in a woolly thistle yarn, but the pattern is called the Zap Cap, like zap, like bzz, zap, Z-A-P, by Park Williams. Also I think it's Park and Knit on Ravelry and maybe Instagram. And it's a cool colorwork hat. There's no ribbing. It's all colorwork. You start here and you do your colorwork out, flip it in, connect them, and then switch the chart actually to the flipping the colors, and then keep going. So you get this cool kind of brim and hat offset. It's originally knit in Rauma Finull yarn, so that is a yarn that the woolly thistle carries. I wanted to start this and I didn't have what I wanted on hand, and I did in a different yarn, so here we are. I did screw it up a little bit in the crown. It should have had kind of lightning bolts that follow and stay. But I get really upset at, not really upset. I lose patience with double pointed needles when you have, 16 stitches all the way around on 4 needles, and it's just, that's too much for me. So we lost a little bit of the top. But as I said, I'm over 6 feet tall. No one's going to be seeing the top of my head. Except my dad. It is hot, but for you, I will put this hat on and talk about when and why I knitted this hat. Oh my goodness, look at this. This is the large size. It comes in 2 smaller sizes than this. So if your head is not as big as mine, and honestly, it's good I didn't make it in like a green and orange, because then it would have looked like my head is a watermelon. But it comes in 2 smaller sizes, and I knit it while on a family trip to Denmark. My husband and I took our now 5-year-old or 2-year-old to Copenhagen, Denmark. And this was my travel project. Cast it on the plane, knit it in the times that I had in between everything we were doing or playing at playgrounds. Honestly, it was a tour of the playgrounds in Denmark. But then I actually ended up finishing it, and that's probably why I've got a little thing, is I finished it on the plane. So it got me to thinking about knitting and traveling. Do you like to knit a special travel project? Do you bring the project that you're already working on and keep working on it? Because I was thinking, I'm always going to think of this hat as my Denmark hat. The yarn's not from Denmark. The pattern's not from Denmark. I didn't even buy the yarn I didn't buy the yarn there. I didn't do anything. I just knit it there. And so I will always think of Denmark and Copenhagen when I wear this hat. So I was just curious, do you have a project for knitting or not? And then the other thing is, do you go yarn shopping? Some people do, some people don't. Some people don't bring knitting at all. So it's a really interesting thing to do, to talk about whether knitting and travel are two separate hobbies, whether they're related. It's very interesting to me about how people treat their knitting. And do you travel through knitting? Do you travel by reading the books, like, looking up here, Selbu, or, Norwegian patterns, or Shetland patterns, or Lithuanian patterns, or Latvian patterns, or what else do I even have up here? Fair Isle, Portuguese knitting, Gansey sweaters. They're all from a place. They're all part of knitting from a place. So that's another great way to travel through knitting, like relating your travel and your knitting. Because I love both of those things. I love travel and I love knitting, and I can't say travel and knitting another time. I have to stop. But it's awesome, and I love to hear how people connect themselves to the world through their craft. And I would love to hear about it in the comments below. So if you have anything you'd like to share, I would love to know. Anyway, that's all I have to talk about today. Hopefully next time I see you, it will be cooler. And until then, enjoy your knitting. Bye.
Thank you, Kelsey. I cannot wait to see her finished sweater. And I love just sort of encouraging people that it's okay if it takes longer.
For sure. I mean, all knitting is good knitting, and there's not a race.
It is always fantastic when something speedily makes progress.
Well, that thing's knitting itself, yes.
Right. But for some of us, it doesn't like completely knit itself.
Yeah.
So I think that, hopefully you all just feel encouraged.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't care how long it takes to knit things. I mean, we have to put a timeline on our cowls, but that's just what we have to do to keep things moving along. But if it takes you longer, like you did with your, we still celebrate it completely. So celebrate your knits, whatever speed you're going.
Yeah.
Okay, so the sweater cowl is in full swing now, and we're having a Zoom night tonight for those of you knitting along. You should have received an email for you to register for the Zoom call. So if you're all on board with that, we'll see you tonight.
Yeah, I think if you've signed up for the sweater cowl, you will automatically get the email about the Zoom meeting with the link.
Yeah.
So we hope to see you there.
Yeah, we are asking that people register this time though, so that is a little extra step, and that's so that we know how many people we need to accommodate when we go live, because Zoom has different numbers that we can have. So if we know how many of you are coming, then we can, budget accordingly for that. And the signups are still open if you want to knit along with us and you're just late to the party. It doesn't matter. Sign up and come knit with us. We'd love to have you.
We do have many designers who have generously offered prizes.
Many prizes.
And some of our vendors. So you'll see on the screen scrolling by now the list of all the prizes. You can also see them in the show notes below.
Yeah, what a great turnout from designers and our vendors. Thank you so much for your support of this massive cowl. And it's really great. So lots of prizes to be won.
Yes.
New ones just added include WoolDreamers. They've provided 7 skeins of Moda to one winner, plus 4 sampler boxes with 25 gram skeins of Moda, Cativa, Mancha Lopez, and Saona. And Mary O'Shea, who is Telemungan, 5 pattern downloads. So thank you for those very generous prizes. That's added to the prize pool now. Okay, Maggie, we get Vermont Sheep and Wool next weekend. Can't wait. One of my favorite shows is at the Tunbridge Wells or
Tunbridge Fairground.
Tunbridge Fairground. Tunbridge Wells is in England. I don't know. So yes, Tunbridge Fairground, which is very pretty, especially in the fall with all the trees, and we're there now. So that's happening. And on the shoulder of that, on Friday, we have Millapalooza, which is Junction Fibre Mill. And they are throwing a nice big event where you buy tickets, you get a wonderful insider look at the mill. It's a timed thing, so you've got to choose your slot. Then there's dinner up on Savage Heart Farm, which is a beautiful farm way up looking over all of Vermont.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm really excited. I have heard fantastic things about the view up at Peg's farm. Yeah. And the evening sounds like it is going
We're going to be there.
We are going to be there. It is going to be lots of fun, great food.
Yeah, music, live music. Yeah. So well worth it. And
fellow fiber enthusiasts.
Oh my gosh.
So yes, it should be a wonderful time.
Yeah. And I wanted to say too, the shop here will be open on Friday and Saturday. So check for the hours, or we can put them there for you. I think we've got extended hours on Friday. So when you're done your timed visit at Millapalooza, you can come and check out the Woolly Thistle. Between 12 and 2, we will have Sarah of Fiber Trek here visiting, which I'm very excited about. She's going to be here for a couple of hours and is excited to meet anybody who wants to come in and talk about wool. To me, Sarah is the original wool aficionado. She loves to talk about place-based wools and yarns and soulful stash, and that's exactly what we have here. So if you want to come in and meet Sarah, come in between 12 and 2 and she'll be here and happy to chit chat with you. So that's exciting. And and then, Vermont Sheep and Wool the rest of the time. It's going to be a great weekend, so hopefully you're planning to come visit if you can. That would be great.
Yeah. So why don't we go, Peg and Amanda have put together a video segment to tell you a little bit more about Millapalooza.
Yeah.
So why don't we go to that now?
All right.
Hello.
Hello, hi.
You are talking to Amanda.
And I'm Peggy.
From Junction Fiber Mill.
And Junction Fiber Mill. And we are thrilled to be talking to the folks at the Woolly Thistle's Shopcast.
Yes.
And the reason we're talking to you is that we want to let you know about a little bit of a collaboration we're doing with the Woolly Thistle. The Vermont Sheep and Wool Festival is coming up. It is on October 5th and 6th. It's a fabulous festival. But if you've been to any of the big festivals, a lot of them have something going on adjacent to it. And we thought, why not have something going adjacent to the Vermont Sheep and Wool Festival?
A party.
A party. So the first annual Millapalooza is going to take place on Friday, the 4th of October. And we're thrilled that the folks from the Woolly Thistle will be joining us. We're going to have our warehouse retail space will be open with our making tracks and other fun colors. But right across the river in West Lebanon, New Hampshire is the Woolly Thistle and their brand new retail shop. So you can hit 2 shops and then
And not only shops, we're a mill. We should introduce ourselves a little more. We make yarn here. We've got all of the equipment. So as part of the experience at the mill, you'll get the in-depth tour. You'll get to see how yarn is made all the way from sheep to skein.
Yep.
Shop as well. Go to Woolly Thistle and then
we're going to head 10 minutes from here up to Savage Heart Farm. That's the farm that my husband and I own. We raise Corriedale, which is
they have the cutest dang sheep you've ever seen, folks.
But we also have an unbelievable Vermont view, 270 degrees. The colors are going to be absolutely on fire. We've got a great big tent, live music, amazing food will be there, a little bit of a sample sale, and some fiber friends are going to be there. So we hope that you'll join us and the Woolly Thistle for the Millapalooza.
And tickets are on sale. We still have some available, and tickets actually include all of the food, the dinner, the maple creamies that we're going to have for dessert, the music. So we hope that you're able to join us, and it's going to be a special event. You'll get some swag too, and then stay for the weekend, enjoy the Vermont Sheep and Wool Festival.
Right, and to get those tickets, you go to junctionfibermill.com and on our website, and you'll see
Millapalooza right front and center. So
there you go.
We hope you join us, and
also, the Woolly Thistle.
Yeah. All right, bye, folks.
All right, so hopefully that has inspired you to run out and get your tickets. You can get them at junctionfibermill.com and get your tickets, and we'll see you there, or we'll see you here, what have you.
Hopefully both.
Hopefully
we'll
both.
see you here in the shop and there at the event.
And then they were so kind to give us tickets to give away. And we have a winner. The winner's already been notified throughout the week.
Yes, and again, we hope to see you here in the shop, and then we will see you that evening in the event.
That's right. So we're excited about this. It's going to be fun.
It will be. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So Nitty Natty.
Nitty Natty.
Do you guys know about
that
Nitty Natty?
Very quick segue. But yes,
sorry.
But yes,
Reading
Nitty
ahead.
Natty. So I don't know if you're familiar with Nitty Natty. She is a fellow knitting podcaster.
Yeah, with quite a following.
With quite a following. I think she also has like her own sort of community that she has built. And her podcast is available on YouTube. And she has been touring all over and visiting yarn stores and mills all over the nation.
She and her significant other have a van, and they're living the van life, and they're going all around the US. Mm-hmm. So we invited her, if she was in this area, to come and visit, and lo and behold, Rhinebeck's not far off, so she's over here. We're not that close to Rhinebeck, but close enough, I think, if you're traveling the whole country. So she's coming, and she'll be interviewing
you.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay, pre-prepared questions only. Just kidding. And we'll give her a tour of the shop and everything. So that's exciting. So watch out for that. We'll be on her podcast, and we'll be sure to share probably the segment on our podcast too here on the Shopcast. And we also have a visit scheduled with Gudrun Johnston in November. So keep that on your radar. That's coming up. So very exciting stuff. And so what else do we need to talk about, Maggie?
There is lots happening in the shop right now.
So before we talk about all that, maybe we should go to Emma, because we do have all these segments. So maybe we should go to Emma, who is talking about her Rhinebeck knit. I think she's almost finished her Fair Isle sweater.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
It's beautiful. She does such a good job. So we'll see you on the other side of that, and we'll update you on all the stuff that Maggie's got she's dying to tell you. So see you on the other side.
Hi everyone, it's so good to be back with you on the Shopcast. I hope you've had a great start to your fall, and if you're knitting along with us for the sweater cal, I hope you're really enjoying that too. It's like sort of starting to cool down where I live in Maryland, only in the mornings, and then it still gets really warm. It gets less warm, but I think that fall will kind of rear its head in a few weeks here. The leaves will start to turn, and it'll start to get like chillier at night, which is what I'm really looking forward to. So I have a few things to talk about today. One is the first thing actually is what I'm wearing. This is the Cloudsley sweater by Isabel Kramer, which is just it looks really plain from the front. It's just a V-neck, but on the back it has this fun patterned panel, and I don't remember if I've showed this on here before, but I knitted this as a full-length sweater, actually, like full sleeves. But then I needed to lengthen the sleeves, and there was all this drama because I had a skein of yarn that I thought was the same skein as I used to make the sweater, which is made with like a local farm's BFL. So I really love the kind of wooliness of this. And one thing that, a lot of people wonder about is like, can I get kind of a more natural feeling wool that's not as itchy? So if you're looking for a type of wool that is like easy to wear next to the skin but still woolly and under processed, I would say BFL is a great option. But anyway, I ended up getting really frustrated with the sweater, and like these, like I was doing sleeve extensions that were like half done, and for a year it just kind of like sat because I was frustrated with it. So my mom said something about how she had taken out the sleeves on a top that she'd made to make it short sleeved, and I was like, that's what I'm going to do with that Cloudsley sweater. So I did, and it's a short sleeve top now, and I really like it because it's a little tighter. It's like a little more fitted than I would normally wear a sweater, like more like a blouse. And so I just wear it as a shirt, and I really like it. So if you have anything like that, maybe you think you're going to lose yarn chicken on a sweater, maybe you just absolutely cannot bring yourself to knit sleeves for whatever reason. Maybe like the yarn doesn't feel good in your hands or something. Make a t-shirt. I'm here to tell you that you will probably wear it a lot, and it's nice to have a transitional piece. So anyway, I'm going to give a quick update on my Rhinebeck sweater. So every year for Rhinebeck, I make a full Fair Isle, like all over piece. And this year I'm doing a V-neck jumper that I've been working on for a while. So if you've been watching the Woolly Thistle or my channel Tiny Desk Knitting regularly, you've probably seen this, but it's growing. So the body I finished, I don't know, a couple weeks ago or maybe a month ago, grafted the shoulders together. I needle felted all my steeks. If you watched the last Shopcast, I was needle felting the steeks on this, and picked up the V-neck, knitted that first so that I could try it on over my head. That's very important to me, is to do the neck first, to cut the steek open, pick up the stitches, and knit the neck, whether it's a crew neck or a V-neck or something else. I've never done another type of neck on a Fair Isle. I do that first because I need to know what that looks like, so that I can make edits, like rip it out and do it again if I need to. Then I pick up the stitches around each arm side or the armhole. On both sides, I pick up the stitches and I cut the steeks open. So here you can see that I've picked up the stitches on this needle, magic loop style, and I've cut the steek open, the bridge here, but I've not knitted it. So that just so I can try it on. So, and this sleeve is getting there. So the one thing I'm really not looking forward to is weaving in all the ends. Oh my gosh, there's like hundreds of ends in this sleeve because there's 11 different colors in the sweater. I'm using a mix of Jamieson and Smith and Jamieson's of Shetland. You need a surprisingly little amount of each of those yarns when you're knitting a sweater with 11 colors. Like, I don't think I'm going to use more than 2 colors of each ball of yarn, which is surprising. I am a women's small, so keep that in mind. But if you're looking to make a Fair Isle sweater like this, you probably need less yarn than you think. Like, I got like 4 balls of each color. I'm going to have enough yarn to literally make 2 of these sweaters if I want. I do not want to. I often need a little break from Fair Isle after I finish my Rhinebeck sweater for the year. But I have one more band on the big band on this sleeve, and then I will be knitting the cuff, and then I have one more sleeve to knit, and then I have about 6 trillion ends to weave in. But I have a friend who recently came over for a knit afternoon, and she suggested that we get together specifically like once a month or something to knit and save all the things we don't want to do normally, like weaving in ends, and like I have a pair of mittens I need to just knit the thumbs of, and she was like, let's save those things and we'll do them together so that we have like accountability and like we don't hate doing it and we look forward to it because we're hanging out with each other. And I thought, that's an amazing idea. So I suggest that you find, if you have a knitting friend locally, y'all meet up once a month to do that too, or maybe less than once a month, but you know, depending on how often you have projects building up that you need to like do things. Like, I really hate finishing button bands and sewing on buttons too. It's not that I dislike it. I think it's just that I don't, you know, it's like one of those small tasks. When I get into it, I'm like, yeah, whatever, this is no problem. But like, well, I'm just, the idea of doing it is just like abhorrent to me. So I think the accountability is really helpful, and I'm looking forward to having an end weaving party with my friend after I finish the second sleeve. So what I really should do is tell her, hey, we got to do this in 2 weeks, and that gives me a deadline to finish the sleeve, which would be great. And even if I didn't have it done, I would have enough of it done that I'd get a ton of ends woven in anyway, and then I'd still finish the sweater shortly. So update on my Rhinebeck sweater. I think it will be done by Rhinebeck, which is 4 weeks from time of this recording, so a little bit more than 4 weeks. So I'm excited about that, and I'm excited to tell everyone I'm taking a break from Fair Isle, and then probably miss it so much that I immediately like start knitting Fair Isle hats or something. But yeah, other things that I am excited to do. This is a specific yarn that you can get at the Woolly Thistle. So I love to wear plain sweaters, kind of like any style, like the vanilla sweater. I'm just holding this up. This is the yarn I'm going to use for my next vanilla sweater, the Bichet Bouche Le Petit Lamb's Wool in turquoise. But I love a vanilla sweater. And it just, when I say vanilla sweater, I don't necessarily mean the vanilla sweater by Corinne, but that's the one you should knit first if you've never knitted one. And then you can keep knitting it over and over because it's so good. But I have a lot of sweaters that I call kind of vanilla-ish, which just to me means like I don't really have to think about the knitting very much when I'm knitting it. I just kind of knit in the round. I know when the increases are happening if I'm working on the yoke, and then the body and sleeves are just totally plain. So I wear sweaters like that a lot. Sometimes I make cardigans, sometimes I make pullovers, sometimes I just put a little v-neck in there for fun, sometimes I add some purl seams or whatever. You know, I like to go a little rogue on patterns, but this is what I'm going to be using for my next one. And I thought this was a really unexpected color choice for fall and winter. But it also, you know, it's kind of a color you'd associate with the spring. But I just think that this is like the perfect kind of like bluish green that I want to wear in the dead of winter to kind of make me happy. This is one of my favorite colors. So I encourage you, find a color you absolutely love, because you're going to love knitting with it if it's the color you love, and you're going to love wearing it. And choose a yarn, you know, that you know, you're going to just really enjoy. I love Le Petit Lamb's Wool. I think it's really lightweight, and I have a sweater that I made in Le Petit Lamb's Wool, the Maddie cardigan by Kristin Drysdale, which you can get as a kit from the Woolly Thistle. Well, I don't know if they do the cardigan kits or the pullover kits, but regardless, you can knit both of them in Le Petit Lamb's Wool. I love that sweater. I wear it all the time. It just blocks so nicely. It's so lightweight, because this is like a really light fingering weight yarn. So I always say, you know, any kind of fingering sport weight yarn will probably suit, you know, a vanilla type of sweater, like the vanilla sweater. And if you're using a lighter or heavier weight yarn, you can take a gauge swatch, figure out if you can get 20 stitches over 4 inches, and then, you know, maybe even go up or down a size in the vanilla sweater if your gauge has changed significantly enough that like you'd like to knit like up a size or down a size. And you can do some gauge math by, you know, figuring out kind of how many stitches are in the body section, and then dividing that by, you know, how many stitches per inch you're getting to check on the total bust circumference of that sweater. So that's a little tip on knitting math and changing the gauge for something simple like the vanilla sweater. But that's all I have for you today, and I hope you're having the best September ever. Now we're like basically at the end of the month, which is wild. Oh my gosh. So yeah, keep knitting. I can't wait to see you all in your Rhinebeck sweaters, or whether it's in person or just virtually. And yeah, happy knitting. Bye.
And we're back. Hope you enjoyed that segment with Emma. I always enjoy all of Emma's segments and everyone's segments, honestly. So we're back. We have bags to show you. These went on sale last weekend, I believe. Yes. And these are our tote bags and our carry-all bags. Our carry-all bag is our newest design, and they're doing really, really well. Do you want to show off one of the carry-alls?
Sure. So these released for the first time earlier this year, and this is our first restock. And with that restock has come a new pairing of canvas and Harris tweed.
Yes. So this red color is brand new to us, and let me tell you guys, it's flying off the shelves. You guys love this choice, so that one we'll have to reorder soon, I think.
So this bag has 2 magnetic
Yep.
Closures, and this one is a snap. There are no zippers. I've seen that question be asked. So it does open nice and wide. It's got some big pockets.
Yeah.
There is one tiny little zipper pocket in there.
It's a teeny tiny.
In case, which is great in case you want to put certain things that you just want to make sure don't fall out.
Like maybe your scissors.
Yeah, your scissors. Or I've seen some people carry this as a pocketbook.
Yeah.
So if you have, you know,
I love mine.
Things you don't want to fall out.
I love mine. It's a great size. It's a bit of a TARDIS, so it's much bigger inside than it looks, and it feels really, really nice.
Yeah. And you've also got a pocket on the back.
The cotton that it's lined with is brushed cotton. We have that brushed for you, so that it's got that lovely soft feeling inside.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. And we've got the lovely Harris tweed official label in there, and then we've got a label inside that's the Woolly Thistle and Studio Tolster, because we do this in partnership with them, and it's wonderful. So so that's a new one.
And and this bag is perfect either for an everyday bag, for small to medium projects.
Definitely a couple of sock projects in here maybe.
Also back in stock is this beautiful herringbone, blue herringbone.
This one's very popular
too. It is.
It's got nice brown straps on it, but it's the same makeup as the one that Maggie just showed you. So all the same bits and bobs.
And then the teal,
which is another super popular colorway. And this one's navy.
This one matches my best.
Yeah, you should. Yes, it does. Do you have this one?
I don't. I have the one that I have is this color. Mine was more of a prototype, so mine is this color with green.
That's right.
Which I really like.
Yeah. Well, I think
so. I know. I mean, you can't have too many. And then the purple.
And there's not many of these left. Yeah, this is the Woolly Thistle purple, and there's not many of these left. Just lovely. Love them. Love them. And then for the tote bags, if you want to go bigger, like I was just showing you, this is mine. I use this actually for big projects like sweaters, and then I've got a black one like this that I use every single day. It carries my massive MacBook Pro and all my pads of paper and notes and everything. And these come with a dust bag, which I think is very smart. and lovely. So you get a dust bag with your tote bag.
Do you want to explain what a dust bag is for those of us who might be unfamiliar with it?
Yeah, it's a bag that you keep your bag in when you're not using it. So if you want to keep it in your closet and keep it not getting dusty, you put it in here.
Great.
It's very nice. It's very, very upscale.
Yes.
Yes.
One of the other things with this bag that's different from the other bag is that the bottom has it's a nice leather bottom.
Also, it's got a zipper at the top, and which I've found really useful on flights. I use this as my carry-on.
It's a nice smooth zipper.
It's a great zipper, really heavy duty and very pretty with a nice leather pull. So, I can fit my big, massive computer in there, zip it shut and put it under the seat in front. Also, these are hard wearing bags. I mean, this is wool, so it's going to stand the test of time, and all the treatment you give it is going to be good. So this is the black with the black straps. And then we have, this is very popular, is the blue herringbone on blue, which matches the
small one.
The carry-all.
And this one is new. This is the first time we've offered that.
That's right. Yeah.
So if you wanted a matching set.
How nice is that? But that's actually good. That gives you a sense of the different sizes.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, very lovely. We've got the woolly thistle purple, of course. I actually have one of these too. Gotta have them all. I would be dressed head to toe in wool.
Collect them all.
Yeah, collect them all. And then the one that I'm using right now is what's this?
Yeah,
Okay.
I have the gray one at home, and it is wonderful.
It is. It's lovely. It's got the nice contrasting brown leather.
I think I'm going to keep my NOS sweater in it. Right now it's got a languishing whip in it.
Oh no. Change that up.
Yeah.
All right. So those are our bags. We have them in stock right now. Thank you if you've already ordered yours. Really appreciate that. It's a big, big undertaking for us to get all these made and shipped over, and you guys really show up. So thank you for that. If you would like one, I would come and get it. It'll be a while before we restock because we have them made to order. And they're only made for the woolly thistle, which is phenomenal. Really special. Okay, so Maggie, what else do we have to talk about? I threw my notes all over the floor.
Let's see. We have some new books that are available now. So recently released is Memory Lane. And that was done by Lina and author Claudia Quintanilla, who is the owner of Unit Toronto. And this has some really gorgeous embellished knits. Either embellished with beads. Just really, really gorgeous patterns. We were flipping through there.
We were.
Oohing and awing.
Yeah, just so pretty. Like this one.
I love it.
That's beads.
There's one in there that's color work too, and it's knit with all mohair.
Oh, is it this one?
Oh, it is that one. It just looks like it would be
a dream to wear.
So nice.
Gorgeous.
So nice.
So that is in.
Yep, that is in and available now. New on pre-order, we will put a photo here, is Cultivate by Dee Hardwick. This is Dee Hardwick's second book with Lina, and this one also looks amazing.
Yep.
Also available from Lina right now, still on pre-order, the Knitter's Year calendar book. I'm really excited for this one to come in.
Yes, me too.
I want to see this.
Yeah.
And the Nordic Knits special issue.
Yep.
This one also looks really good.
Yeah.
It's been selling really well.
Yep.
You're excited about the patterns. I'm excited. I love that color. The vest on that would not be slow knitting. That would be fast knitting. I think it's knit with Rauma bands, and it looks like it would just be cozy to wear
to the races.
and fast to knit.
Yeah.
And also, the Shetland Wool Week Annual. This will start, our copies have arrived, but they will not be shipping until the annual releases on the 29th of this month.
Which is dictated by Shetland Wool Week themselves.
Yeah.
So, but let me tell you, oh my gosh, this is a great issue. I mean, just look at that for a start.
Yeah, it's a great issue. You can see on their website some of the designs that are in there. Beautiful hat from Donna Smith. The vest in here is really all the patterns are great.
Yeah, I think that, this comes out once a year. It's sort of a collector's, a knitting collection type thing, I think. I know, look at it.
Ella Gordon does it again.
Ella Gordon, yes. Vests are really fun to knit because you don't have sleeves.
And that one's really cute. It's got like buttons on the side.
Yeah.
These are they're fantastic.
Yeah.
Every issue tells a bunch of stories, has beautiful patterns.
Yeah.
Great for your collection.
And we have these here now, so when they say go, we can start shipping them out, and they will go out as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Yes. Very exciting. And Renee, as we mentioned, is over there now, which is one of these days, Maggie will make it, won't we?
Yes. Yes, we will.
Yes, we will. All right. What else do we want to share? How about...
I was going to say our 12 days. We still have a limited number of 12 days boxes.
Yes. So these start shipping out in November, but they are selling out fast.
So what we have is a sample of what the natural sock yarn base looks like for you to see. So the colors that we have will be different from this.
Yes.
This is just a sample for you to kind of see the texture and the feel of it.
So that's what comes in here. We get a full-size skein.
We get a full-size skein and 5 minis.
And they're 20-gram minis, so they're not super minis. They're nice, juicy minis.
Yeah, it's enough for like a nice small project.
Yes, and we do put suggestions in the box as well.
Yeah, we will on the pattern suggestion card. There will be a spoiler alert sticker because it will also list everything that's in all of the 12 boxes. So if you, I would open that last.
Yes.
Open all your little boxes and then open the pattern suggestion card.
Yes. So to recap, you get 200 grams of yarn from the Woolly Mammoth, hand dyed for this box, which is amazing. And you get 6 other surprises that are vintagey themed and just darling and adorable, aren't they, Maggie?
Yes.
So yes, there's a few of these left. I would run and grab one if you want it now. Then you put it under your tree. If you want to, you can open it in time for Christmas or for whatever holiday you want to open it for. Some people leave it for January because January's hard. And, you know, having a nice little package to open every day just sort of warms the cockles of your January heart, which is nice.
I did see one question asking if there were any food items in here.
No.
There are not.
Good question.
So you don't have to worry about that if you have any kind of food sensitivities.
Yeah. No, we think you'll love it. It's a big box and it ships out sometime in November.
This is the actual box that it will be.
Yes.
Lovely.
Yes. And inside there's all these little boxes. So 12 boxes, 12 days of cheer. We have the best job, Maggie. we really do. We really do. Okay, so then what?
We have a new yarn that has joined the shop that we wanted to chat a little bit about because it's new. Yes. It is from one of our longest and favorite vendors, although they're all our favorites. It's West Yorkshire Spinners, and it is their Retreat Twist Chunky. We do not have a lot of chunky yarns in here. It smells amazing. If you have any WYS sock yarn and that woolly smell that it has, it's just the same woolly smell. It's great.
I love the colors in this. This one is called Nova, and it does smell great.
This one's called Nebula. So these yarns do color change. We have some swatches. We can put them here. And on the website, on the product page, Tina has put the color yarn and the swatch of what it looks like when it knits. Oh, great. Up. There are patterns that WIS has put together for this that include a hat and a scarf. This would definitely be
next to skin.
Next to skin, especially if you like a nice woolly yarn. So nice, not prickly at all.
Well, and if you're a new knitter and you want to knit something with bigger needles and thicker yarn, but you don't want superwash, and you want to sort of start learning about woolly wools, this would be a great way to go. I
think too for gift knitting, if you want to knit someone a hat or a scarf, or there's a vest pattern that's really, really cute. This would knit up so quickly. So if you're
I love that.
Starting the gift a little bit late, not that it's late, it's
only
end of September. It's not late.
Yes, calm down.
So we have Nova, we have Nebula.
That one's Nova.
These are both Nova. So I think that we grabbed a couple of samples because it is color changing depending on where in that sort of change. The ball might look a little bit different.
Yeah.
But I think that's some of the fun of this type of yarn. There is a colorway that's a bit more neutral. I've swatched with this one. It's really, really lovely. This one's called Dusk.
So gentle.
It's really wonderful. So if you want just sort of like a hint of color changing, you can see that it's in there.
Very natural, sort of great
feels
color.
Wonderful. Very fall looking. This looks very Jill.
So does
Harvest.
This one.
I know this one looks really nice too. This one's called Harvest. Let's see, Dawn. That's also really nice. And last but not least, Harbor, which is just wonderful.
So the gauge they have for this is just 14 stitches to 4 inches square.
Yeah. I did knit a gauge swatch for this. I wonder where those.
And you would knit this on a US 10.5.
Can I go grab the
Yeah,
gauge
go grab.
swatches? I knit a gauge swatch using the recommended needle size. And you can see it didn't quite get to the color change on this one, but it's really nice. And this is washed and blocked.
Oh, it's soft.
So it softens up even more. Like the skein feels soft, but then it does. It softens up even more.
Beautiful.
And I also crocheted a swatch for the crocheters among us.
Love it.
It does. It feels really nice. And I just used the hook size that the ball band.
All that will be on the
recommended.
product page. So check it out. Also very reasonably priced too. West Yorkshire Spinners is great for that as well.
Yeah.
Oh, right. What else do we have?
Reasonably priced, and it's a yarn it'll hold up.
Yeah, it's a great yarn.
Yeah.
All of their stuff is. Maggie, what about these here?
So we have some samples of Kay Hopkins, who is a designer and friend here at the shop. She has released a new classic jacket pattern.
It was in the hot right now on Ravelry.
It was in the hot right now on Ravelry. Congrats to Kay. We have kits available in the natural gris, which is the colorway that she had designed. You see in the photos with her design.
Yeah.
That one sold so well that it is currently out of stock. But a restock is on the way, so you can sign up for the back in stock notice
on the product
that.
page, yeah.
And we also, it is the solid color jacket, so we have kits available in a few other colors as well.
I personally love this pink. And also, I'm just noting that the Cotiva, which is WoolDreamers from Spain, has lovely bits of Spanish vegetable matter.
I know.
We are never upset by this. We actually celebrate finding bits of grass that were on the sheep because it just is minimally processed.
It's a little bit of Spain in
It's a little bit of Spain on your knitting. Yeah. So lovely colors. So we do have sets set up for these.
So
in
you
case
can
you fancy that.
Yep, there is a product page available for the kits. If you don't see the color there that you want to knit in the pattern, you can also shop by the ball.
Absolutely, because it's a solid color, so you're not having to faff around with lots of different colors.
Yeah.
Which some of us like to do, and others prefer to just get the kit. So all's good. Maggie, what else do we need to talk about?
Blankets.
Some of you who've been with us for a while will know that we tend to work with Studio Donegal to get their hand woven blankets every once in a blue moon. These are made for the Woolly Thistle for you, dear customers. These are handmade in Ireland on hand looms, and they're absolutely gorgeous, made with Irish wool, and they're very soft. So we just brought in a couple. I think that is...
this is the Thistle.
Right, and this is actually... Jill's brought this in from home. This one's on the back of my couch all the time. We can put a picture there. This lives on the back of my couch and is, I think, the citrus blush, something like that. Yeah. And just great colors. I am waiting to get one of the Thistle ones this time. These are coming in next month or very soon.
Very early next month. They're shipping right now. They'll be arriving soon.
Oh my gosh. So yes.
They will be available starting October 4th. I say that like it's a question. It is the Friday before New Hampshire Sheep and Wool, which I believe is, it's also Millapalooza Day, is blanket day. So you can order your blanket and pick it up.
That's a great idea. Be organized. Or just buy it while you're here.
But
yeah, these are great. They fit on a bed, on, like a bed topper. And they're just beautiful colors. You can see the weave there. They hold up to quite a lot of abuse. My cat sits on this one and claws it to bits, and there are a few pulls, but only because she did that. But overall, it looks really nice.
Yeah, and as we said, this one it belongs to Jill, and actually the wearing of it just makes it feel better.
It is. It gets softer and
honestly,
softer.
They feel nice when they first come in, but you can tell just from getting used.
That they're softening up
that
even
it relaxes and softens
Yeah.
up, and it just feels so nice.
Very reasonably priced for a handmade product. We're going to have, I think, a couple of new designs, but we will have several of their designs come in, including the Thistle, which is ours and exclusive to the Woolly Thistle. Yeah. But all of them, they sold out last time, and
it's just really beautiful. You can see that.
Yeah, and they've got the lovely fringe. Look at that.
Just wonderful.
Colors are great. Yeah. So by ordering one of these, you are actually supporting an otherwise dying skill, I think, of weaving. Same with the Harris tweed bags, and supporting these hand weavers who are doing amazing things.
Yeah.
And we want to support them. And if I could dress head to toe in wool, I would. Yes, for sure. So these will be here these will be launching on October 4th. So they'll be here during Millapalooza, which is very nice timing as it happens. So check them out when you're here.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Do we have anything else? I know we still have Kim from yoga.
We have one more prize winner.
Oh,
Almost forgot.
save the best for last.
This is why we double check our notes. Our second winner today of a $25 gift card to the Woolly Thistle is at mmay16. May says, so much inspiration. What a pleasure this Shopcast is. I look forward to every episode. Aww. Many thanks to all of the people who take the time to share their talent and time with us.
Yes, thank you.
Congratulations, you've won $25 to the Woolly Thistle. If you can email us at info@thewoollythistle, put prize winner in all caps, we will get you your gift card.
That's right. And if you'd like to be in the running for a prize next time, all you need to do is subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and leave a comment down below. And congratulations to you, May. I do agree with you. It's wonderful that so many people contribute to the Shopcast. And I think that makes it really special, having all these different voices. So thank you for that. I think all that's left now is yoga. So I think, Maggie, all that's left to say is if you go out,
take your knitting.
Bye.
Hello, Woolly Thistlers. This is Kim, your friendly neighborhood yoga teacher. Today's class is an excerpt from the September yoga class that's available to patrons on my Patreon site. And it's all about how to have the best morning ever. Does it sound good? It's a practice that takes about half an hour. I mean, the excerpt isn't that long, but the full practice takes about half an hour. And it's all about finding mobility in all of the joints, gently waking up the body, not sweating at all, but by the time you finish, feeling ready for your day. So we got a bit of visualization in there as well as a lot of body movement and breath. So I hope you enjoy. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Ravelry. I've got a couple of patterns on there. In fact, I've got a new one coming out soon. If you're looking for a great mitten pattern for the winter made with woolly wool, you know where to find that. And of course, yoga practices, recipes, and meditations through Patreon. So enjoy the practice today, and I will see you again soon. This next series of postures is a really wonderful way to rev yourself up for a beautiful day. So we will start in child's pose. Reach the fingers away from you, stretch through the hand, push the pads of the fingers onto the mat, and then lift the palms up and use that grip to really stretch through the shoulder blades. Good, and then we're going to lift to all fours. Settling the knees under the hips and the wrists under the shoulders. We're perfectly balanced right now. Engage your corset, core, and then sweep the right leg up, left arm. Feel how everything's engaged. That's beautiful. Feeling controlled and feeling calm. And we're going to switch. Keep the core engaged as you float the left leg, right arm up. Breathe here. Beauty. And release. Going back to the first side. Reaching the right leg, left arm. That left arm is going to be our balance as we bend the right knee. And now we're going to create some circles through the hips. Right, so your corset core is engaged as you circle that knee around. And then switch directions. Good balance challenge here. Don't forget to breathe. Beautiful. I'll switch sides. Was your left butt cheek fairly engaged? Mine was. And the muscles you need to keep you stable, right? Okay, left leg up, right arm up, bend the left knee, and then start to circle out of that hip. Notice how each side is different, and switch directions. Great. Back to all fours. You're going to reach the arms up a little bit further forward. Take the knees nice and wide and push yourself down into an active child's pose. This is an exhalation here. We're going to inhale, come up into a modified cow as you lift the chest and lift the hips. And then exhale, round the back, tuck the pelvis, push yourself back. Feels good. Inhale to your modified cow. And exhale, rounding everything, cocooning yourself into child's pose. Inhale to a modified cow. And exhale, child's pose. One more time. Inhale to that modified cow. Flip the toes under. And now we're going to even everything out and push back into a down dog. And we're going to move through our dog in 3 ways. First way, we pedal the heels down one at a time. Yeah, nice and slow. Just enjoy it. Good. So those calves of ours, you could stretch your calves every single day, and overnight they would forget everything you just taught them. It's like Groundhog Day for calves. So here we are reminding them once again how much they love to stretch. Okay, let's inhale to bring it down into our modified cow. Exhale, push back to child's pose, curling everything in. Inhale to your modified cow. Flip the toes, exhale, second down dog. This time bend your right knee and push down with your left heel. You do not need to get your heel onto the floor. But what I want you to engage is that calf muscle in a different way so that you're getting a deep stretch. Breathe here. Enjoy the inversion. Your head is below your heart. The only times that this might not be appropriate is if you have like a terrible sinus infection. That might not feel good. Sometimes if you get vertigo, this doesn't feel very nice either. But otherwise, it's a wonderful thing to do on the daily. Okay, let's switch. So bending the left knee, dropping the right heel down toward the mat, breathing. And breathe in and out through the nose if you can. I know we're upside down, so maybe it's stuffy at this point, but that just means things are moving. Good. On your next inhalation, back to that modified cow. Exhale to your child's pose. Inhale to your modified cow, flip the toes. And exhale back to downward dog. This time bend the right knee and then turn the heel of the left foot toward the right. And then push that left foot toward the mat. A different kind of stretch here. Breathe deep. Enjoy it. Where are you feeling this? It's probably a little bit different for everyone. Let's switch sides. Bend the left knee, turn the right heel toward the left foot, and push toward the mat. At the same time, what are your fingers doing? Hopefully the pads of your fingers are pressing into the mat and providing some arch support for the palm of your hand. One more breath. Good. And then back to our normal down dog. We're going to inhale, modified cow. Exhale, child's pose. Tuck in the tailbone. Feels so good. Inhale, modified cow. Flip the toes. Down dog. And this time we're going to walk our feet all the way up to our hands and dangle. So the upper body is totally relaxed. There's a lot of support in the legs, but you can bend the knees. That's not a problem. There's no rules here. As long as you can let your upper body just hang and eventually take your hands off the floor, grasp the elbows and hang like a pendulum, maybe swinging slightly from left to right, or like a rag doll, just hanging completely limp. Breathe deep. Good. Now hands to the floor, bend the knees. You're going to take the right leg back. So we're just in a runner's lunge here, and then dip that knee to the floor. Now this may be the time when you need a little extra padding for the knee. Sometimes if you've got your foot flat like that, it feels okay. Sometimes it feels better to have your toes curled, or sometimes you just need a little extra padding for that knee. So take a moment to set up so that you can be here for a while. And then lift up, and you're going to imagine someone's behind you and they're pushing the hip forward. Pushing the hip forward. So you're going to get a stretch through the quad, but also hopefully through that hip flexor, which is right in the joint where the hip bends. It might even be helpful to put your right hand on the back of the hip there to encourage the hip to roll forward. This is us undoing that chair posture right now. Breathe deep. Good. Hands to the floor. On your next inhalation, you're going to bring that right foot to meet the left. And then exhale the left leg back. Runner's lunge. Adjust any padding that you might have been using. Drop the knee and reach up, scooping those hips forward. This is one we should do every single day. In fact, if this becomes your morning practice, it would be a wonderful way to set you up for the rest of the day so that you're guaranteed to have a really good day. Beautiful. Okay, hands back to the mat. We are going to, let's see, how shall we finish this? I think we're going to finish it standing. So bring your left foot to your right. Take one more moment to squeeze yourself forward, and then bend the knees and roll up, all the way up. Bring your hands to your heart. And this is probably the most important part of the whole practice. We're going to visualize having a great day. So get your laundry list. What do you have going on today? And see yourself accomplishing all the important parts of the list peacefully with a smile on your face. And feel yourself feeling good. Yep, I got the groceries, check. I finished that project at work, check. I took some time to just relax. That's just as important. Check. See yourself completing these things with a smile on your face and enjoying the whole day, whatever it brings. Feeling love in your heart, peace in your mind, joy in your blood. Okay, thank you so much for practicing with me today. Enjoy your day. Have a good morning. Namaste.